Graniola. This is the Graniola channel, and I'd like to tell you a folk tale. Folk tales are simple stories that have been told and retold, passed down by word of mouth from generation to generation. They unify people. The story I'd like to tell you now is called Star Sisters.
Often when you listen to a folk tale, you'll know where it comes from. At the end of this story, I'll tell you what part of the world it started in.
Late one evening, the son of a powerful chief was walking the rice paddies on one of the thousands of islands that made up his homeland. The moon was full, the night was peaceful, and in the beginning the only sound came from his own footsteps. At some point he heard faintly what sounded like laughing of girls mixed with the noise of splashing water. At first, he attributed this to his imagination because he knew that all the young women in his village would be at home fast asleep. As a sweet, joyful banter continued, he walked slowly toward it, stopping every few steps to make certain that he was moving in the right direction. When he was closer, he saw that there was indeed a group of beauties jumping and splashing in the river. They all looked identical, with waist-length, shiny black hair and skin that shone like white pearls in the moonlight. He was mesmerized when the entire group came out of the water and headed to a clump of trees. Moments later, in a flash of light above the treetops, he saw 7 of them rise in a luminous formation straight up into the night sky. The next morning, he described to his father what he had seen, or had imagined he had seen the night before. His father had a no-nonsense type of personality, and he was half expecting to be told by him that this was a silly dream. He was quite surprised when the elder nodded his head and said, "Yes, those are the Star Maidens. They come down to earth, remove their winged coats, and assume human form for one night when the moon is full. As the son of the chief, one of them would make a perfect wife for you. So, on the first night of the next full moon, you should hide near the trees beside the stream in which you saw them swimming, and once they have gotten into the water, take one of the dresses away from where they have left them hanging, and put that into your quiver. The youngest maiden, who cannot find her wings, will not fly away. The other 6 will return to the sky." This happened just as the chief had described, and following his instructions, the young man approached this girl after her sister had flown away. He saw that she was frightened and offered to take her to his family home where she would be cared for. He was a kind person and made every effort to comfort her. As the months passed, they got to know each other and eventually fell in love and were married. After 2 or perhaps 3 years had passed, a radiant baby girl was born to them. Because she was half Star Maiden, her skin glowed like her mother's, and they called her Pearl. She was adored by both parents, who spoiled her in every possible way. Pearl was given everything she ever wanted, but her father had set down one single rule for her to follow. She must never, ever touch his quiver, which was hanging above the entry door in their home. Now, as you might guess, when you tell a person that they must never, ever go near a thing, that is the one item that they will continuously have in mind, and it's pretty certain that at some point, maybe in a few days' time, or perhaps months, or even years have passed, it's going to get touched. So one morning, after her father went out to pick a fruit that she wanted to eat, and her mother had climbed up the stairs to find a doll that she had asked to play with, the small, well-loved, but spoiled Pearl took a long stick and knocked the quiver down onto the floor. At the same moment that Pearl was putting her tiny, luminous hand down into the quiver, her father walked through the front door with the fruit she was in the mood for, and her mother stepped toward her with the doll she had said she wanted to play with. Now, in case you've never seen one, a quiver is a round box with a strap on it, which is used for carrying arrows. But instead of pulling out arrows, the well-loved but spoiled child pulled out a sparkling, silky coat that was shaped like a large pair of butterfly wings. Her father dropped the fruit. Her mother's eyes filled up with tears, and she let the doll fall as she took the dress from her well-loved daughter, slipped into it, and in seconds flew up into the sky. The youngest of the 7 sky maidens returned to her family in the clouds, and to keep her safe and to stop her or any of the others from ever descending down to the earth again, their father turned his 7 daughters into the constellation, which we now call the 7 sisters. If you look up into the night sky near Orion's belt, you'll probably be able to see the 7 sisters. This is a tale that is told in the Philippines.